morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is September the 1st, 2021, and today the topic is the alternative. Well, there's so many things on my mind right now, y'all, but, I guess I'll start with yesterday. I guess I was back on my grind, if you will, doing all the little things I do. It's so funny because, I was telling my husband about some of the different things I was doing throughout the day, and the day just went by so quick that I realized I didn't even eat until, I don't know, sorry, Mom. But I didn't really even eat till he got home, whatever, and yeah, but anyway, time just flies, man. That's one reason time flies, and then like when you're doing this and doing that, no excuse, but that's just what happened basically. And so, those of y'all that follow on social media, you may notice that, been back posting again, sharing, all those great things that, on one hand, how can I say, it's like, it's all seeds that eventually flourish later. So, that's what I think of, like all the tasks and all the things that like God had me doing in this season. I just kind of feel like there's seeds being planted. There's things that I'm cultivating and whatnot that then, at some future date, if the Lord will, we all see flourish in some way. I see them flourish, you see them as you guys follow me and things like that. So basically, back on the grind of doing all of that. So many different things I was working on yesterday, but yeah. My mind's a little all over the place right now, y'all. Just a little bit. So let's get into the juice, right? Let's get into this chat for today. So, I did my prayer meditation, which was really good. Unfortunately, I can't remember the title at the moment. The title was something along the lines of like, something like God will take care of you even if you are the enemy, or something like that. When I read the title, whatever it was, you guys will see it as it's posted later on today. But when I read the title, I was already like, oh Lord, oh goodness. I felt like it was a good reminder, just the title alone. And then when I got into the prayer meditation and whatnot, I enjoyed that as well. I was a little distracted during it, I won't lie about that, but for the most part, I was trying to focus on it and everything like that. While I speak on that, can I just go ahead and give a shout out to my virtual assistant, Elizabeth. Y'all know that over the weekend, I took a bit of a sabbatical, a bit of social media break. I didn't do any posting between Thursday and technically Monday. Monday I started back doing some things, but between then I did not do any posting. But you all may have seen that my Instagram still has some things being posted, and those things that get posted on Instagram, they automatically go on like GSL and Actress Miracle Sims. This is because of Elizabeth. Even so much so where she took on some of the daily routine stuff as well, because usually I would pretty much take screenshots of my prayer meditation and whatnot, and come to find out when we were chatting yesterday, she's not only been posting that, like, cause I noticed she was posting the images, and I was like, okay, cool. She downloaded the app and started posting the images. But she started to listen to the Soul Space app as well, and actually go through the process and whatnot. And she said that, she's I guess, enjoyed it with her too. So, I mean, that's something you guys can look into. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing like that. It's just, if you're looking for Christian meditation, I think, I've been using it for over a year now, and I've enjoyed it, and it's helped me think about a lot of different things over this past year. And so, check them out. Soul Space app. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to her, and just, I try to tell her all the time anyway, but just saying shout out to her, and thank you for being a part of this movement, if you would say, and assisting me and whatnot, because she's definitely, I feel like, has taken my Instagram up to another level. She's taken over this whole hashtag thing and whatnot, and it's greatly appreciated, greatly appreciated. So, but so let's get into the topic, right? So y'all see that my topic today is called the alternative. You may be wondering, like, what that means. Well, after my prayer meditation, I just it crossed my mind. Well, one, I saw this morning, because I woke up like at 1 this morning. So I've been up ever since then, and woke up bright eyed and bushy-tailed. It wasn't like I was still tired, and I said maybe I went to bed earlier than expected. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, I woke up around 1, and so throughout that, I'm doing my little things that I do, my little hustles from home, posting, sharing, looking, all these different little tasks. And I ended up coming across this person sharing their testimony. And the interesting thing is, some of the comments under it, to me, were offensive, as much as the person says that their testimony was offensive. And whatnot. And it was just interesting. It's just very interesting to me to see people, I guess, deny God, with their words. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's one thing to think something, right? But then when you're actually saying it, or when you're actually, I guess, even typing it or whatever, that's a whole nother level, because it's like, you didn't keep it to yourself, right? That debate. Because I get it. I mean, I've been there too. I have internal debates. I'm human. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then, it does cross my mind whether this or that is real or things like that. But at the end of the day, for me, there's just been too many blessings in my life, too many things that, God has done for me, that for me to deny God at this point in my life. Like, because again, with touching on yesterday, as I have the perspective that God is in control, and that there's nothing that's like a coincidence, and nothing left to chance. I see that the visions, goals, dreams, and things that He's given me. I've seen those plans unfold in my life, and so for me to deny God would make no sense, honestly. But I mean, I get that there's people out there, that have that mindset. Now some may wonder why, but I believe that those that read the Bible and whatnot, they see why. It's very clear in the Word why there are people that have that mindset and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I guess that got me thinking about, if we're going to, for example, the people that deny God, then what is the alternative? Because if you're going to deny that there is a creator, then again, the question is, what is the alternative? Now, we all have heard of like the Big Bang Theory, and we've all heard about evolution and all these different things, but I mean, but then of course there's questions with those concepts. I mean, why couldn't the Big Bang have been created by God? I know Lynn Wood asked the other day, when I listened to that interview I was telling you all about yesterday, it was like, well, if we evolved from monkeys, then why are there still monkeys? All of those different type of things. I was going to sit here and say, well, basically what came to my mind just now was about, like, me and my husband have the, like, scientific conversation, because he, I guess enjoys looking into science and enjoys looking into all these things and whatnot. But it's not that science, because some people will look at science and be like, yes, science this, science that. But the thing is like, science is trying to understand basically what God has done, in my humble opinion. So I don't know. I guess, I just really want us to think about that today. Like, if you're going to deny God, then what is the alternative? How did we get here? How was the earth created? How are any of these things that we see happening? Because this whole idea of it all just being a coincidence is a little bit of a stretch. You have to have faith to believe that everything came from nothing, without any type of creator, because where's the proof of anything happening without something making it happen? I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say I got a master's in science and all that. So I don't know if y'all have an example of something like that, of some other example where something just happens from nothing without any outside influence or involvement, then please share it with me. But as far as I know, everything comes from something. And it's like you can ask that question all the way back until it gets you to the beginning. And then at that point you have to ask, if you want to call it the Big Bang, then still, how was the Big Bang? How did it happen? But in the meantime, as we, again, think about the alternative, here's some more things we can think about. This is what the Bible has to say. So I came across Jude 1:22, and it says, "And have mercy on those who doubt." That led me to go deeper, so I did read the entire Jude 1. And I didn't pick out any verses out of it. You guys can take a look at it yourself, and I suggest, read the entire thing, because I feel like the entire thing was good. But that's just the first verse that I came across this morning. The second one is Psalm 14:1, and it says, "To the choir master of David, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There is none who does good." Whew, I know that might be the pulp for some people, because a lot of people feel like, there's people, I guess, that are atheists, right? And they're like, oh, I just do good. I just try to live a good life and X, Y, and Z. Well, according to the Bible, it says there's none who does good, and that you're corrupt. So, we might not want to look at ourselves in that way, but you have to look at, I guess, fruit, right? You have to look at, again, like what's being done and whatnot, by you having that mindset and sharing that mindset and leading others to follow you in the mindset. Then, what fruit is coming from that? And if it's not good, then there's only there's only one other option it could be. And so again, people can let that marinate on their hearts, souls, and minds today. But I was sitting here thinking, like, it seems like maybe there's 3 or 4 types of people in the world. There's like believers, then there's like people that say they believe but don't really have the actions behind their belief. Then there's those that don't believe, and then there's like the ones that completely believe but in the opposite direction. Now I don't know if that's just me, and there could be more groups and whatnot, but that's just 4 that I thought of this morning. And if you look on the from the spectrum of good and evil, right? If you look from believers believing in good, and then those that believe, but they believe the complete opposite, which would be in evil. And then again, those 2 groups in between. I mean, I guess the groups that are in between, I guess it would behoove us all to kind of come on to the side of good. However, again, everybody has to, work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. But, yeah, I guess I just find it to be interesting because, on one hand, it's like we hear so many, I guess, rumors of evil and like, about people that are actually, straight up say that they worship Satan and, straight up, have their groups and their organizations and their things that they do that contributes to the evil things that go on in the world. And then, like I said, there's the groups in the middle that it's like maybe that doubts both of those things. I don't know. Like, I just really want us to think about the alternatives to today, because as we again move forward and we think about this whole idea of, if you truly believe that there's no God, and if you truly believe that the Bible is false or whatever you want to believe, then what is the alternative? Now, according to the Bible, it doesn't look good for you to believe such. I've already shared those 2 verses already, but let's check these out here. So Ephesians 4:18 through 19, it says, "They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, due to their hardness of heart. They have become callous and have given themselves up to sensuality, greedy to practice every kind of impurity." Lord help me. I mean, I don't know how much plainer it can get, y'all. I mean, I think that's where the how can I say it, Lord? That's where some of the, I guess, issues come in, because again, when people are doing whatever they're doing, and then when people are, leaning on their own understanding and following their own hearts, and doing all these things that are ultimately against God, and they might not see those things as evil, right? You're not necessarily looking at it like, oh, well, I'm not doing evil. I'm not sacrificing people. I'm not trafficking people. I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone else, whatever the case is. I'm just sharing my ideals about no God, or I'm just sharing, or I don't have to believe in God to do good, or whatever you're doing, right? And you don't look at those things as being bad or evil. But according to the Bible, they are, because, basically you're opening yourself up to practice, as it says, every kind of impurity. Like I was talking about the other day when we were talking about this whole sexual immorality thing. Like, at the end of the day, there's not going to be any line if you hold on to the mindset of, do whatever you want to do. And then as you have that mindset, then, now we have, pedophiles. Now we have people that want to have sex with animals. Now, and are those things good? Then if they're not good, then they're evil. And that's for me, again, it's the bottom line. It's like, that's what the whole battle is. It's good and evil. And you may not see or look at your things that you're doing as bad or evil, but according to the Bible, it is. And so, again, that's just something to think about. But, when we're thinking about this whole conversation of the alternative 1 Corinthians 2:14, it says, the natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. So, yeah, I guess if you're not, right, open to what the word has to say, and you're just so focused on what's going on here in the natural and everything like that, then no, you're not going to understand what the Bible says. You're not going to understand, what anybody else says about their experience. Maybe even their supernatural experience. Like I was saying about the young woman's testimony that I read this morning. Like, at the end of the day, that's her testimony. That's what happened with her. And she's sharing that in the hopes that, to give hope to others that are in the same shoes and whatnot. And instead of looking at it as that, there's people that are like shaming her and, of course, bringing up faith into the situation and talking about there's no God and all these different things. Now, again, you can have your belief, right? You're free to believe whatever you want to believe. The Bible and God gives you that free will. So, I'm not taking anything away from you, but at the end of the day, for me, I just think people, I don't know, I guess like that first verse I shared with you all this morning, I just pray God has mercy on those that doubt. Because, and not only mainly the ones that doubt and then spread their doubt. That's the thing. Because I think it's just another level to get out here, and then now you're going to spread your opinion so much so where it's affecting other people in their life. And maybe people feel as if that's what Christians are doing. Like, I get that whole thing. Because people are like, oh, well, let us live and da-da-da-da. You are living. I'm not stopping nobody from living. But at the end of the day, the word of God does tell us to get out here and make disciples. It does tell us to share the gospel. It does tell us to share our testimonies and all these different things. So, but, I guess you wouldn't know that unless you read the Bible, So that's one thing. And then two, like I said, China broke it down very well in a previous video when she talked about, if you, about like warning your loved one about whatever issue. Like, would you warn that person or would you just let them fall? I guess it's honestly, and like I told you guys before, like honestly, it sometimes just seems easier to just let people fall. But that's not love, that's not God, that's not, I don't believe that's his will, according to what I read and whatnot and what I'm gathering. But, again, just something to think about, I got one more verse I want to share with you all before I wrap this thing up, and that's Colossians 2:8. It says, see to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. That's the thing, y'all. Again, Bible believers, Bible readers, I think they understand this, but maybe not, because again, I definitely sometimes question my fellow believers when I see the things they do and say and whatnot. At the end of the day, I know I shared one of this like an image on our Facebook page that it had a lot to say, but pretty much the fundamental part of it was that reminding us that Jesus is the only way. And hey, according to the Bible, that's what it says. And so that means any other idea is false. And that's heavy. But I don't know what else to say. I really don't. This verse here is telling us to don't be taken captive by philosophies and empty deceit according to human tradition. The word tells us not to lean into our own understanding. There's so many different things in the word of God about how we should handle all of these thoughts and ideas and situations. And I would say this morning to really, really think. If you don't want to believe in God, if you don't want to believe in what the Bible says about how this earth was created and how we got here and all the different things that it has accounted for, the historical accounts and whatnot that are in the Bible, then the question is, what is the alternative? And as far as I can see, when you keep going back, you're going to get to that point where you're going to ask the question, still how? If it's not the Bible way, if the earth, and that's just the earth, not even talking about us, but okay, let's just think about the earth. If the earth wasn't created the way the Bible said it was, then what's the alternative? If we weren't created the way the Bible said we were, then what's the alternative? And yeah, I've heard some alternatives, don't get me wrong, I've heard alternatives, but then they still don't answer questions. And so still and then some draw the conclusion that there's no God at all, or whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, again, what's the alternative? I don't know. That's just my questions for today, y'all. That's just, what came to me this morning. I hope that, you guys go deeper. There's plenty of verses in the Go Deeper section. If you don't read nothing else, then read Numbers 14 and 11, because that one almost took me out of here. That question right there that was asked in that section there. So that's Numbers 14 and 11. Y'all. Woo, but anyway, the Bible verse of today is Isaiah 54 and 17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Just a reminder, there was something else that was released very over the past couple of days. I know we did a post to, put it out there that basically I did an interview with Mr. Dave Siegel, and he's the host of Blue Jesus. We were talking about the sexual revolution, so you guys can hear that on any place that podcasts are. We shared the Spotify link, but yeah, you can check that out again. Blue Jesus, the revelation, the sexual revolution. I had a chat with Mr. Siegel. And actually, you guys are going to be able to see that full chat eventually in the future with GSL as well. But you can hear some of it on his podcast. So, yeah, man. Great things happening, man. And to God be the glory at the end of the day. So, those of you on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.